In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at putting together a kit from Walmart using Ozark Trail gear that's not going to break the bank. Stick around. All right, over the years, I have put together several videos on going to Walmart and getting gear. For a lot of people, that is their only option, especially if you live in a small town in the middle of nowhere. Sometimes Walmart is your only source of gear. And certainly if you're on a budget, it's a great place to go. And there are some hidden gems in Walmart that you can find that are absolutely awesome pieces of gear. But there's also some junk, and I'm going to show you some new things that I've found, and then also show you some true and tried items that I've had for years and that they're still selling at Walmart, and you can absolutely put together a very nice survival kit backpack very easily and probably under $100. But let's take a look and see exactly what I'm talking about. So the first item we're going to look at is this backpack right here. This is a 20-liter mossy oak backpack. It came out this fall when they started rotating in all the hunting gear. And I really liked the design of it. And of course the price was fantastic. It's only 20 bucks, but it had some good features in it, and we're going to take a look at that a little bit closer. So it's a pretty inexpensive backpack, but there was a couple things I liked about the design. And one, it has this very deep front pocket, slip pocket. You can put a lot of gear in the front here and easily access it. And then of course it had the mesh water bottle holders, which is perfect because I like to carry 2 water bottles with me at all times when I'm out. And it was big enough to actually hold the 32-ounce Nalgene size bottles. And well, right here, this bottle is something that I picked up at Walmart, I think a couple years ago. This is from a company called Zach. It's a little bit smaller than 32 ounces, but it's about the same size. And it's just a nice water bottle. Nice graduation marks on the side. But these water bottle pockets hold a variety of size of water bottles, which is perfect. It seems to be pretty decent construction. The mesh is not bad. And then the other thing that I really liked about the backpack when I saw it in the store was the straps on it. Nice shape to them. You have an adjustable sternum strap that goes up and down. Decent padding. So, overall, just looking at it from the outside, it seemed like a very decent backpack for 20 bucks. And what's really cool about this particular backpack is that it only opens here at the top, and that's it. That's as far as it goes. There is no chance of spilling your gear all over the place, and it holds an amazing amount of stuff for a 20-liter backpack just because it's so deep. And then also, worth noting, it does have hydration capability, so you can hang a bladder here, and there is a hydration pocket in the back, and there's a port sewn in the top of the pack that you can get the hose out right there. So very nice little backpack for 20 bucks. It's not going to break the bank. It holds your gear. If you're looking for like a bag to throw in your truck and not worry about it, or take out on hikes, or even if you want to do some hunting with it, it's set up for that. It's perfect. It's got this, what they call this daisy chain looping on the outside. It's not true MOLLE because there's not another row, so you really can't put a pouch back here, but I was able to put this patch panel that I had on the outside just to help me identify my pack. And then I've got my Night Eyes carabiner with some Gorilla Tape, and those are items you can absolutely get at Walmart. I don't have tons of weight in this thing, but it rides very well. I like it. It's a nice little day pack, and you can't beat the price. Has a nice mesh pocket here in the lid, and this is perfect for those kind of grab and go items. So in here I have probably one of my favorite headlamps that I've had for many years. This is an Ozark Trail. It is a rechargeable headlamp. It's got several functions to it. but it works really well. I've had no issues with this thing. It holds a charge really well. It's comfortable to wear, and it didn't break the bank. It was very inexpensive. You can see that, just an Ozark Trail. So great little headlamp. And then some toilet paper. You can pick this up in the camping section from Coughlins. Nice little pre-packaged roll. Good to have some emergency toilet paper in your kit. And then some dude wipes. You can buy these individual dude wipes at Walmart. They're great. Get them in the pharmacy section. I usually buy a box of these, and then I put these little packets in all my bags and EDC gear because I like to clean up, and I don't like to have emergencies in the woods. I'm not going to wipe my butt with a leaf, so having that kind of stuff I think is crucial for comfort. So we got that. And then on the outside pocket here, I have this 5x7 emergency camping tarp that they sell at Walmart. And I think this is Outdoor Products is the maker of this. Comes with a little stuff sack. I'll show you that here in a minute, but it's a very nice little nylon tarp with some grommets. It's not, nothing fancy. It's probably not going to hold up terribly well to a lot of use, but as an emergency tarp, just to throw up with some paracord, you've got a quick shelter to get you out of the rain, and that'll keep you absolutely dry. And you can treat this, you can seam seal it, you can treat it with some silicone spray if you want to, if you really want to be careful. And then, of course, some kind of water filtration system. They do sell Sawyer filters at Walmart, and that's the mini. And that comes with the plunger and the hose and all that. And then what I like to do is I like to have a smart water bottle because these will absolutely thread to the Sawyer. And they're far better than those water bags that Sawyer gives you. Their clothes are kind of junky and they do break, but these smart water bottles gives you a way of holding water. You can drink directly out of this now. You can filter from it. It's kind of whatever you want to do. The smart water bottles have sport caps, so that makes it real convenient for drinking. And then I just wrap mine in a little bit of duct tape. The bottles are very flexible, so that just gives it a little bit of rigidity, and then it gives me some extra duct tape to utilize if I need it. But water filtration is such an important component if you're building a survival backpack for hiking or camping or whatever. And I just throw this in a little Ziploc bag. Food items. This is another outdoor product that they sell at Walmart. This is their little dry bags. I think it comes in a set of 3. I like the orange bag. It kind of identifies that it's my bag. And I keep my food in it. And you can pick up the freeze-dried meals from Mountain House. They are fantastic. I've been eating these and camping with these for years and years and years. And of course, if you pay attention, they do go on clearance usually every season, and they'll go down from whatever they are, what, 10 or 11 bucks right now, and they'll go down to like 7. And they have a lot of good flavors. And of course, the expiration dates on these are fabulous. 2053. So this is a great item to throw in a survival backpack, especially if you're going to keep it in your truck or your vehicle. It's not going to spoil. A lot of good calories. Another favorite item of mine, I show this in a lot of videos, are these silicone cups that you get at Walmart, and they're in the camping section. Fantastic for drinking some coffee or putting some hot soup in there, and they're very inexpensive. They're like a couple of bucks each, and they don't take up any room. And of course, snacks and coffee. You can get instant coffee at Walmart. Of course, there's all kinds of different snack bars, Kind bars, Cliff bars. They have all those in the grocery section, and Walmart is my grocery store because that's all we have available. So I buy a lot of my stuff for camping at Walmart. And then here's something that I recently found. Is this little eating multi-tool. Kind of a nice little item. Got a fork. a spoon. And then there's even a bottle opener, can opener, cork, wine cork opener. And I think there is a knife blade in there somewhere. This all comes apart. There we go. Just push that down. There we go. There's a little safety. Now you got a nice little knife for food prep. But that's a nice tool and it's inexpensive. And then one thing that I like to cook my food with is gas stoves, because they are absolutely dependable. They are low profile. They don't have any kind of fire issues. They don't draw attention if I'm out in the woods. And Walmart has this fantastic little Ozark Trail stove kit that is just fabulous. Here we go. Nice little folding stove. And it comes with a stabilizer for the gas canister, and it has another component that I didn't bring with me, but it comes with an adapter so you can actually run this stove on those big green Coleman gas propane tanks. So it gives you a couple different options, and that's fantastic because those propane tanks, those store pretty well. Put a couple of those in your truck, put this in your truck, and now you've got a nice little stove system to heat up food. And I'll show you how this thing works here in a second once we get through the rest of this stuff. A little head net. I think this came with the Ozark Trail Survival Kit, which was an absolute piece of garbage. You can see the review on my channel, but it came with this nice little head net. So this is a great bug head net. And then what's great about these head nets, they can actually use these for pre-filtering water. So you can put that over your water bottle and fill it up, and that'll keep out some of the gunk. Another item with survival kits that I like to always have with me is some type of battery charging system, because we all use cell phones, and if you have a means of charging your phone in the field, that could really be a game changer. You would be able to communicate with people a little bit easier. And I've found that the Swiss Tech battery pack does a fantastic job. Never had any issues with it. And then I found this Plano waterproof storage container. This was on sale. It was on the clearance section in I think the fishing area, and it absolutely fits that perfectly. It would also fit a good sized cell phone. But there's my emergency backup for communications, and also I can charge my headlamp, and I just keep that thing charged and put that back in my backpack, and then I don't have to worry about it. But really a great little system. And then of course multi-cord that will charge iPhones and USB-C and even the older USB connections. So pick up one of those, throw that in there, and then you can charge a variety of devices. Now the tarp came in this little bag. This is the 5x7 blue tarp that I just showed you. Nice little storage bag, but I like to keep my tarp on the outside so I can get to it quickly. But in here I have all my little items for, I guess, starting fires and emergencies. So a new product that I've been testing out are these Go Fires. They're just little packets of fire starting material, and you just put that underneath your brush pile, hit it with your lighter, and they go pretty good. So I think they're pretty decent. I haven't had any issues with them. I've enjoyed using them. They seem to work pretty well. Another fantastic item you can always pick up at Walmart is the UCO waterproof matches. And these are really great matches to utilize because they're easy to get going. I mean, you can't blow them out. They will not go out. And if you dunk this in water, it will reignite once it pulls out. There we go. Finally got it out. That took a little bit of time. So it's a great backup for starting a fire. And of course, they come in a very nice waterproof container, and you can even buy refills for this match safe. And this is, it's by far one of my favorite match safes. It's durable, it's waterproof, and it holds a lot of matches, so it's a great backup. Of course, Bic lighters. Always pick up a few Bic lighters when I'm at Walmart. Wrap mine in Gorilla Tape, so I have that extra tape. Always thinking about adding tape to stuff just to give you more for repairs in the field. And then this is about the only ferro rod that I've found at Walmart that actually is pretty decent. It's small, right? But it does a decent job. Pretty decent, not bad. I don't have any problem with that. And it's compact, lightweight. Don't need a huge ferro rod sometimes, just something as a backup. Another cool little item that I found, this was actually in the boating section. It comes in a pack of 3. This is an emergency watercraft strobe light. This is meant for canoes and kayaks. So you would tie this, or I guess strap this to tie points on your kayak. And it came in a pack of 3. One was red, one was green, and then it had a white light one. And it didn't cost very much at all. I think it was like $12 or $15. But it's a nice little emergency strobe, and with that rubber band on the back and that little hook, you can hook that to the strap of your backpack. And now you got an emergency strobe. Another item, of course, is paracord. Lots of paracord options at Walmart. This one, I can't remember exactly what this is. I'll try to look this up. But this was actually, it's a thicker diameter than normal paracord. And I believe it has a higher weight limit on it. So, didn't cost very much. I like that that's a little bit thicker. It's going to be great for, setting up a ridgeline on a shelter. Another item I have in almost all my backpacks is some type of sitting pad. Really is a big deal when you're trying to start a fire and you're cold, and it insulates your butt, but also you can kneel on this and your knees don't get wet. Just a really great item. And all this is the closed cell foam sitting or sleeping pad that they have in the camping section. And then I buy one of those because they're very cheap, and then I cut them down in various sizes to fit my different backpacks. And it's a very cheap method of having a sit pad, plus you can fan a fire with it pretty easily, and it's very effective at that. I've done that thousands of times camping with friends. Like, we'll get the blue sit pad out and do a little wave there, and you get the fire going. So it's a great item to have. Doesn't cost you very much, and once you wear it out, you can replace it easily and cheaply. So another thing that I talk a lot about with Walmart gear are tools and knives. Walmart actually has a very decent selection of name brand knives. You can buy Buck and Gerber and all that kind of stuff. I think they're even starting to sell Civivi, which is really crazy to me, but they're selling all kinds of different brands. They're even carrying Mora. So those are all great options. But if you're really looking to purchase some inexpensive knives because you want to try them out, or you just don't want to spend a lot of money, or maybe they're just gifts for people who are just getting into bushcraft survival, there are some decent options out there. One thing that I always carry and talk about and have shown in multiple videos are these Ozark Trail folding knives. These are kind of reminiscent of the Benchmade Bug Out, but they're have liners in them, so they are stiff. They're not flexible. And they recently changed the design of these, where you actually have a reversible pocket clip. You can go either carry it left or right. They come in a variety of colors, orange, black, and I think there's even OD green. I have all 3 of those. It's D2 steel, but if you're looking for an inexpensive pocket knife that absolutely does a fantastic job, holds up well, and isn't going to break the bank, $10. These are worth checking out, as well as some other great pocket knives that they've been coming out with. They've really stepped up the game on the Ozark Trail knives. And, I'm not saying that these are the best knives in the world. You can afford a Benchmade or a Spyderco or even a Civivi. go for it. They're great knives, and I have them. But if you're getting started and you want some decent tools, I would suggest looking at the Ozark Trail knives for sure, just to start with. And then another absolute banger of a tool that they carry is this Ozark Trail multi-tool. This is the multi-force is what they call it, and it's got kind of a Leatherman wave look to it, but really nice. All right, here it is, the multi-force. Really nice tool. I've had this for, I don't know, maybe a year at the most. Been using it off and on. Carried in my truck. Of course, it's got all the standard stuff. We got a nice saw blade. We have pocket clip. There is a decent file on it. I love having files on my multi-tool. Very handy. Of course, and a nice little knife. And then all your standard tools, right? Open this up. You've got your full complement of scissors right there. Small pair. Nothing too big. Can openers, bottle openers, reamer. I'm not going to get into all of it, but what I really like about this particular tool is that it comes with a bit holder, and this is the standard size bit. It's not those flat bits, and it comes with an extender. If you buy a small bit set to go with this, you've got a really nice tool, and it comes with a decent sheath. There's the sheath. Decent pocket clip on it. It's got a spot for the bit holder. Mine's a little beat up. Not too bad though. But I just really like this kind of bit holder as opposed to the flat bits. And then of course it locks. It's got a locking button on the back. Of all the, I would say, cheap multi-tools that are out there, this is by far my favorite. I think it's the best quality, and it's right around the $40 mark, so you're not going to break the bank with it. But there it is. Other tool options, of course, we always want a fixed blade knife of some sort, and this is one that I found recently. I think it was this summer. It was on clearance for like $9, but I think they're selling these now for around $25. This is a 6.5-inch blade, fixed blade knife. It is full tang. It has a sharpened spine, so you can strike a ferro rod with that, but also do some scrapings with it. It came out of the package absolutely sharp. Has a nice edge on it, probably just a flat grind. Handles are a little thin, but they are micarta with G10 liners. There it is, full tang. And I like the shape of it. I wish the handle was a little bit beefier, but that can be fixed. You can wrap that with some tape to give you a little bit more grip. But what a decent little knife for $20. And it's some type of unknown stainless. I can't remember the designation. It's like a 17 CRMOM 238-9, whatever. Stainless, but out of the package, it's pretty decent looking. I haven't really done much with it, and we'll do some more testing when it warms up a little bit. But plastic sheath, nice sheath or belt attachment. Look at that. With the lock. That you can take off, and you can flip that around, so you could carry this scout style, or you can carry it cross draw on the front. You have options, and what a great knife. You know, if you're looking for an inexpensive sheath knife to put in your pack that you're not going to worry about losing or destroying, this is a decent option. I was really surprised by it. Okay, another thing that I find a lot at Walmart are clothing options, and that's something a lot of people don't talk about. That's something a lot of people don't talk about, is outdoor clothing. Outdoor clothing can be very, very expensive. You know, not everybody has money for First Light and for Spear and all this other kind of stuff. Great stuff, right? Don't get me wrong, good stuff. But you know, the common working man or gal does not have $300 to spend on a pair of pants. And I recently picked up some really good stuff at Walmart, and if you keep your eyes peeled, especially during changing over of seasons, you can get things on clearance, like this jacket here. This is in the hunting section. It is a soft shell jacket with a hood. I've been wearing this hunting for the past 2 years. I've taken it out so many times on hikes and to film videos. And then the other thing I found, and this is just recent, are these pants. And these things are Ozark Trail. They're called cargo pants. That's all the label says. But I was really surprised because they have reinforced knees, nylon material in the knees, nylon material in the butt, and then decent cargo pockets with a snap. And it's kind of a soft shell nylon material, the pant overall. $22. And then they also have what they call a hiking jean that doesn't have the cargo pockets but has zipper pockets and doesn't have the reinforced butt and knees. This is by far my favorite types of pants, are the lightweight hiking style pants with nylon, because they dry quick. They're not heavy. I can put long underwear on underneath them. And in fact, I'm wearing Realtree long underwear right now underneath these. Got it at Walmart. Get a lot of my socks at Walmart, gloves at Walmart. All that kind of stuff is available in the clothing section. You just need to keep your eyes peeled, and you can find some really good deals. Now, these sterno containers of iso butane propane fuel mix, they come in smaller ones. This is the big one. I would get a smaller one for your day pack. You don't need this big of a container. This is kind of my base camp container that I had. But here's the stove. It has a piezo, and that will help get it lit so you don't have to use a lighter. And if you've never used these, they're very easy to use. Just screw on your stove, and there'll be a little release of gas. Get that nice and tight, but don't over tighten it. There is your release of gas. Okay. Before you get anything going, get your water poured. This is an Ozark Trail stainless steel cup, single wall. No measurements on it, but it's really super cheap. I think it's under $5, maybe $4 or something like that. Fits a 32-ounce Nalgene. Good cup. Get your water in there. Everything closed up. Release your gas. Take the flame. Now, what you can do is you can adjust this higher or lower. There we go. Now you can make some coffee in the field. You can heat up water to put in that dehydrated meal, that freeze-dried meal. Great option for cooking. And if you're in an area that has a lot of fire bans, especially in the summertime, these little stoves are pretty decent. You can shut them off very quickly. They don't spill fuel everywhere. And of course, they're not creating any smoke, so you're not really leaving much of a footprint. There we go, rolling boil. I should have timed that. So, if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor. Like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. I try to post a video once a week. Check out my social media. Check out the links below if you're looking for more information on any of this gear. I will try to run as many captions as possible to tell you about this stuff. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time on The Prepared Wanderer.